The Human Genome Project was completed in April of 2003, giving us the first complete genetic map of human beings. Today, the project has already helped discover more than 1,800 diseases, while allowing researchers to more easily detect the genes responsible for a variety of genetic disorders. This project was a breakthrough in the medical field and will certainly help advance treatments in major ways. However, what is the cost of such a breakthrough, and will the costs be the same for both sexes? Biases within genetic mapping can be found as early as the research phase. While we now have a completed genetic map, the genes researchers choose to focus on is not an objective decision. Diseases that affect a specific sex, race, or class of people at a higher rate will likely be more emphasized within the research community. A driving question surrounding genetic engineering is who has access to these technologies. When considered from this point of view, it becomes obvious that genetic mapping excludes a very large portion of the population. In fact, only the very wealthy would likely be able to access this tool, inevitably placing greater emphasis on the diseases and genes that disproportionately affect the rich, while excluding those who cannot access this service. This would increase the disparity between wealthy and poor countries. Furthermore, given the wage gap between men and women around the world, men would likely utilize genetic mapping more often than women, giving priority to their genes within this field of study. It is also important to consider the potential implications of possessing this sort of knowledge. Having a completed map of one's genes opens the door for increased social stigmas and ultimately, discrimination. Many worry that this would manifest itself in health insurance, where individuals recognized to be carriers of certain genetic disorders would be denied coverage or forced to pay a premium. But this discrimination would also have specifically gendered implications as well. For example, many women around the world are still valued entirely as a marriage prospect and as a means of bearing children. Therefore, genetic mapping could negatively affect their chances of proposal based on something out of their control. Perhaps the most prominent concern regarding the gender implications of genomics is the possibility of heightened scientific sexism. Genetic mapping has revealed both similarities and differences between the genomes of the sexes. However, history has demonstrated the tendency of society to latch onto these differences in order to promote the superiority of men. We have seen this in the case of Sarah Baartman, where both scientific sexism and scientific racism intersected to result in severe discrimination. With more information comes more opportunity for this type of discrimination to occur. As a whole, the Human Genome Project has provided vast insight into human anatomy and medicine. It is at the forefront of modern technology, allowing us to have a better understanding of diseases and better equipping researchers to discover innovative cures. However, while this technology has the potential to do great things, it also has the potential to serve as a method of discrimination based on sex, race, and class. It is important to keep these implications in mind as research progresses in the field of genomics in order to counter the potential costs of such a breakthrough.